Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today is the last episode because I'm about to commit a felony.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another mailbag. It's been a busy day with a lot of cool stuff came in the mail. The first item actually came in the mail a couple of days ago, but I wanted to show it off because I'm really excited about it. That's this big fuchsia, which ought to give you a little bit of a hint of what's inside it.
Should it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just pop this out because it's incredibly nice. It's literally one of the nicest books in my RPG collection. This is Chalt by the one and only Venger Satanis. I've already started reading it. I couldn't help myself. I knew it was there, and I'm going to review this by the end of the week. But I got to tell you, dust cover, which is actually a rarity in the industry. A nice, solid hardback book with nice glossy pages. So far, I'm about 50 pages in out of, let's see, 213 pages with all kinds of weird writings in it, including the most important writing of all. The big guy himself autographed it for us. Nothing too fancy, but we kind of cornered the market on autographs, wouldn't you say?
On overly complicated and fancy autographs, yes.
And believe it or not, it's number 360 out of 2,000 copies. That right there actually is pretty exciting. The fact that it is a numbered edition, and like I said, I will review this hopefully by Friday, if not sooner. But as you'll see shortly, we've got a few things that are going to possibly distract at least me over the course of the next week. Let's go into the next box. This is just a little something I picked up. You'll see why in just a minute, because the little guy has no idea what's in it, and
That's correct. I have no idea what's in
even
it.
when he sees it, he won't know exactly what it is. I mean, he's going to have an idea, but it's been, gosh, almost 10 years since he's even touched any of these kinds of miniatures. But it's something that's been missing from my collection for a long time. I regret getting rid of the original version I had. Someone out there's got a nice shiny purple one of these in their collection, and
that gives me an idea, but I don't.
but I absolutely love this piece, even though tactically it's not the most stellar piece of equipment. But for me, I would fill it full of either assault troopers or I think Rough Riders, which was a blast because you can put an entire company of epic space marines or Imperial Guard, I should say. It doesn't open, I wish. But this is an Imperial Capitolus, something like that. That let me take this. That was one of the centerpieces of my Imperial Guard collection, along with my many tanks and things like that. So, for those of you who used to play Epic Space Marines, and I do not mean Epic Armageddon, because Epic Armageddon was dog water. This had four or six void shields, one attack with a big blaster cannon template weapon, and very slow movement speed. But it's just a big chunky looking Imperial Guard piece of hardware that next to my 4 or 6 Leviathans just looks really impressive on the battlefield. And yeah, I am probably gonna repaint this, even though I really like the old decal on it for the Imperial Guard. You can see that it's just they did a nice job with the armor plating. It gave a nice lineup mark to show off the decal and get it centered just right. And the guy did a decent job, but there's no washes, no dry brushing, and like I said, I'm probably going to paint it purple. But on to the last box.
Of course, purple and green, your favorite color.
No, just purple. Well, it was purple and gold.
Purple is like your favorite color, except for that one color, which for some reason you have a chronic fear of people knowing that it's your favorite color.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about the last box that came in here. That is our Next Level Miniatures Kickstarter. I ordered this over a year ago, and it finally came in. Hey, can you? Don't worry about that.
I will worry about that.
Oh, okay. I thought I got that already. But okay, just pop it open and hand me the box, and no one will have to see our sacred address. Just pop the box open.
No.
Come on.
No.
What if I need to send it back because it's all damaged inside? Did you ever think of that? No.
I am thinking of that.
No. Come on. Time's a wasting.
Is time wasting though?
It really is. Yes. I literally have something else I want to do when we're done here.
I have something else I want to do when we're done here too, but this is
Annoying.
fine. Turn the light on.
Can you use the actual edge?
This is the edge.
You know what? I'm gonna actually just get double edged blades, so he has no choice.
I can do it like this.
But the next level Kickstarter, they're about to do their second one, but I've already heard a lot of bad things about this Kickstarter, and number one being the fragility of the pieces, number two being the size. I'm going to break out a miniature here so that we can kind of compare. They're supposed to be 28 millimeter scale, but instead they're like 28 millimeter tall. Now, with some of the monsters, that's not going to be a big deal, but I'm really more concerned with the fragility of the pieces because they're a resin plastic mix, and our friend over at Blanco said he dropped one of these pieces onto a carpeted floor and it shattered, and that is not okay. And like I said, they've got a second Kickstarter that's underway right now, and to be honest, I'm probably not going to back it, but we'll see. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. There's, I think, over 100 miniatures in here, and I'm not seeing the dragon. And they're all just sort of, well, maybe that's it down here. Yeah, nope, that's the bases. Now, the good thing I did hear about this Kickstarter was the actual bases. They're supposed to be top-notch quality bases. I'm going to just dump these out so you guys can get a good idea. Is that the dragon?
Maybe.
If that's the dragon, that's microscopic. But all kinds of bases, and depending on how things go. Oh, wow. That is decent. These are nice bases. Lots of different sizes. Unfortunately, they're all going to go toward the actual miniatures themselves. But let's take that, what looks like to be the dragon. Or is that Orcus? And as you notice, there are no instructions. Yeah, that's the dragon. It's pretty dinky. I mean, that's really, really small. I mean, that's a baby dragon compared to all my other dragon miniatures. Our dragon miniatures. Be very careful because that horn looks like if you look at it wrong, it'll fall off. They're supposed to be kind of bendable, but I'm just not seeing it here. But I mean, look at that. Can you hand me that dragon there, the red one?
Oh, I was gonna say that's.
This is an Archon Studios 28 millimeter young dragon, which makes this one apparently a hatchling. I mean, see, look at the wings. I mean, come on, guys. That's even for 25 millimeter scale. That's tiny. That's not okay. You know, if you look at the Kickstarter ad, it gave the impression of being rather large, and this does not look large. Now, is this Orcus or just something else? Oh no, it's a bunch. Yeah, see, right off the bat, the packaging is awful. You know, just dumping them in the Ziploc bags like this is just terrible. The Beholder. I'm not even sure how that's supposed to go on the base. Maybe. Oh, okay, it just goes like that. But yeah, it's okay for a Beholder, but compared to like Whiz Kids, which is kind of more or less. I know, right?
You don't say that name.
Yeah, the standard. This Wolf Cerebus thing, it's not too bad. I mean, compared to a human miniature. But it's not going to really strike a lot of fear into the party, and it looks like I don't know what is that. Looks like it's got a giant gouge in them, or maybe it's supposed to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I mean, if you look here, looks like it's got a big gouge in the side of it, but it's also got one on the other side. Maybe that's just some sort of artistic thing going on. But if this is the way they're going to package their Kickstarters and the lack of care they're going to provide, in shipping and things like that, it doesn't really feel like it would shatter if you dropped it. Maybe if you dropped it on, from a distance, it does have a little bend in it. But the packaging is substandard. I mean, this is not okay, guys. I don't know how many miniatures are in here. There's probably like 40 miniatures just jammed in here. That's not okay, guys. Um, you know, uh, and they're tiny. They're all below acceptable scale for the industry, and there's nothing I can do about it. I will get some use out of them, especially things like goblins and kobolds. But real quick, I can see a character in here I can just grab out and show you guys. That's not too bad for a ghost.
Yeah, but
Again, it's not terrible, but yeah, well, it's a little smaller than a human. Okay, I can live with that. But when you're talking about an actual character, uh, this barbarian dude versus this female commissar, she's clearly Nordic or some sort of Viking commissar, and this little barbarian is just that
Chinese.
just that a little barbarian. He's not okay, guys. At first blush, I'm gonna have to say that you guys dropped the ball, and obviously it was to save money on size and materials. Just bad form. Even if this is an elf character, it's just too tiny and too spindly. The sword doesn't feel like it's gonna break, and the sculpts are not bad, but the size and just the overall lack of care is just not okay. It's going to be a while before I even want to get to the whole lot of these. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at some of these bigger figures, just to be fair. But I heard a lot of complaints, especially in the comments section for the Kickstarter Earth Elemental.
No, that's alright.
But is it?
I said alright.
The sculpt's nice. Now, what these would be okay for, a lot of these would be great for a smaller scale. Now, 25 millimeter, or even to lump in with my 15 millimeter scale miniatures, that would be impressive. I've got a 15 millimeter miniature right here against an Earth Elemental, summoning an Earth Elemental or whatever. Now that looks impressive, right?
I don't think these are intentional.
No, I think those are just flash and things that need to be trimmed off.
I think that's what this is. This looks a lot like that one that broke off.
But it's an air elemental or something?
This is a fire elemental.
But, yeah, so if...
I think, actually, it might not be.
And here's the air elemental. Oh. It's kind of goofy looking.
This is a water elemental.
It reminds me of Tornado Man from the Mighty Hero.
To be fair, isn't that what an air elemental is supposed to be?
I know. And, okay.
It's not meant to be whatever that abomination that...
Okay, this is an ogre.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's an ogre. Just barely usable for 28 millimeter scale, guys. And this is the first Basilisk. Is not too shabby.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is very cool looking. I'm not gonna, but
it's more like cool looking. It looks like lizard.
Yeah.
From Mars.
Yeah, I know, right? But this is the first time I've actually gotten something that I was not overjoyed with. And you guys know us. We try to be nice about things. But the scale is it's really not okay. I hope you guys are going to do better next time, but to be honest, I probably will never find out because it's just, it doesn't seem like it's, it's not what I wanted. I wanted 28 millimeter, and to use with all my 28 millimeters, I'll try to turn this into lemonade. But fair warning to you guys out there, if you're interested in the next level, Dragon's Horde Kickstarter #2. I wouldn't do it unless they're gonna, really make up the difference this second time around. Maybe they'll learn from their lesson, but the only way they're gonna learn is honestly by not having as many customers as last time around. But otherwise, this was a really good week for us. It's only Monday, and
that's not a week then.
I know. Well, it was a nice mailbag day. But before we go, we need to thank our good friend Ron, who just sent us a
box. Now, boxes are cool, especially when there's stuff in them. Does this one have stuff in it?
This one had extremely cool stuff in it. You want to say what it is? Should I?
That was amazing and awful.
At the same time? Well, that is...
No, not at the same time. That is awful. No, yes, you're right. It is awful and amazing at the same time, but separately, it is amazing and awful. Very different.
Our good friend Ron, who's not... He used to play some D&D with me a long time ago, but he's one of those friends that's been a friend since time began, and he sent the little guy and I his Xbox with a crap ton of games. So we're in a bit of a hurry to get downstairs and play some State of Emergency, some Battlefront 1 or 2. Even though it's a school night, we're going to try and squeak in, a couple of minutes here or there before, it is, in fact, Mimi time for the little man. But, Ron, thank you so much.
I wish there was a knife. Wait, there is a knife, actually.
You want to say thanks and be polite about this, or do I need to remind you?
Well, yes, thank you. I'm just pointing out.
It was incredibly cool of him. He didn't have to do it. Yeah. I'm going to have to find a way to get you back, buddy. I'm not sure how, but I got something in mind. But it's going to take a bit, but I think I know just the thing. And hopefully your girlfriend won't get too upset. Maybe you might want to open it in the garage, if you know what I'm saying. But
I am... What's the word I'm looking for? No.
No? The word is no?
I know, I don't know what word I was looking for.
Something like that?
That is not in the... Well, that is not in the same universe as what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
That is
better?
Amazing.
Fair?
Yes.
So thanks, Ron. Thank you, our friend who sent us this. Your name will remain nameless. And thank you, Venger. I honestly cannot wait to start pouring through it. I'm already digging the gonzo and the artwork and the jokes and everything else all at the same time being something I actually know I'll use in just about any game I want to play because of the way you wrote it. But like I said, I'm going to do a full review by the end of the week, and it's time to play some video games. So you guys have a great week. We'll be back throughout the week, probably tomorrow, because I think we're going to do something.
Maybe.
We'll see. We might be too busy playing State of Emergency or Battlefront or something. You guys get the hint. Anyways, thanks for playing along with us. We love you guys, and
good night.
Bye, everybody.